Hey, what's up, guys? Lyndon here. And today, what I'm doing is I'm doing a business model breakdown similar to what I did with Lisa's cassava chips, but I'm looking at it from a tech based standpoint, right? So, today we're looking at Sell Your Stuff, which is a company. I'll actually go into who the two founders of the company are, right? So, we're looking at it from a SaaS standpoint. And a couple of the things that we're going to be doing, if you see me looking down, because I made my notes, I want to make sure I give you guys top notch value as it relates to this, right? So a few things that we're going to be looking at, we're going to be talking about is a little bit as to what their model is and what they are offering to their customers, who are their customers, and some of the things that they need to pay attention to, right? And I'm going to try to do that in the best possible time frame. So let's get straight into it. So we're looking at a company by the name of Sell Your Stuff, right? And Sell Your Stuff is a company that was founded by two bright young men. The first one is Jarian Paul. You can find Jarian Paul here on LinkedIn. I actually met Jarian a couple of years ago, and we've always stayed in contact since. Big fan of his ideas and the things that he wants to do. And I actually recently met Joshua, but only on LinkedIn. I haven't been able to really sit down and speak with him. But Joshua is also a key person in the development and in the launch of this particular company. Right now, the company in itself is an online marketplace, right? But the thing is that as much as they're doing stuff where it's retail, so I'll actually say this: the online marketplace is really for retail-based stuff. So it's not services. So it's not really. This wouldn't be a place where service providers reside, right? And they've actually sort of opened it up, right? They've opened it up where different providers can come onto the platform and provide some of their products. Now, I'll tell you why I actually like this business model initially, right? I'm not sure how many of you guys would have remembered last year. At least I heard it last year. I'm not sure if it was around from before that, but I think it's in late 2019 into 2020. I remember hearing Gary Vee speak a lot about you can always make some money because there's always something of value in your home that you could sell, or always something in the of value in your neighbor's home that you can ask them permission to sell. So for me, when I look at Sell Your Stuff kind of gave me the idea, especially by the name Sell Your Stuff. Let's say, for instance, I had some. I mean, many of us would have had it. We had a furniture set, or we had some old appliances. I mean, I have had old tech that I've passed on, but it's just old in date, but the condition of it is actually pretty good, right? So there's always something in your house of value that you can maybe move on and make some cash with, right? And because of the fact that a lot of our transactions are actually now done online, it's online. So their business model is one of software as a service, which we would know as SaaS, right? Uh, Apart from that, too, what if it is I have a brand new? So look, I'm rocking the OPAAT-SWY t-shirt today, right? And I've had people who've said, "Hey, Lyndon, when you're ready to start bringing these things as merchandise, then let me know. My sizes are this." So let's just say I do start, bringing some OPAAT-SWY merch, then I can now say I want to use Sell Your Stuff to start marketing and using it as a platform, an online platform to really do my transactions and do my business. So I'll actually go straight into the value proposition category there because that is a value prop of convenience for me, right? I may not want to go and open an online store specific for OPAAT-SWY. However, I want to facilitate those transactions. So that's what, and I don't want to have to now go and create a specific page on my website. So they're actually taking away certain things from me, and they're giving me an avenue or a space that I can actually do that online. So the first value proposition category that I see that filling there for me is along the lines of convenience. So I think they offer a high value of convenience for folks who are, let's say, maybe new in the business or just don't have the time to say, well, I have to go and maybe develop a page and get all these other things connected to it, payment portals, this, that, and the third, where Sell Your Stuff already provides that. Right. So that's one of the first value proposition categories there from the standpoint of convenience. The other one too, excuse me, would be they give me the ability to make some money, right? So I get to sell stuff, which is from a profit standpoint. right? So once I'm doing transactions where I get the ability to do any type of sale, that's profitability, right? And based upon the work that they may be doing from a marketing standpoint or the type of traffic that they are having coming through the site, then that actually adds to me because it may keep me busy, right? So there's some level of productivity there as well. So as we're looking at the value proposition, one of the first customers that Sell Your Stuff needs to have from a SaaS standpoint in this business model is vendors, or as they call it, sellers. So I would see Jari and he would say he's looking for X amount of sellers. So they're looking for sellers, people who want stuff to sell. They also have two models. They have different models in terms of benefits, right? So they have different benefits as it relates to you can start off free and then you could take one of the paid plans, and the paid plans give you different things. So the paid plans gives you maybe more options to sell stuff. So let's say, for instance, free you get to only do 5 or 10 items, but maybe if you're moving up to, let's say, your first tier, your first paid tier, it then moves up to, let's say, maybe about 15 or 50, that type of stuff, right? So the first value prop to that side of customers being sellers, please excuse, I think my dog wants to be part of the conversation, right? So is really along the lines as to the types of vendors. And in this instance, they've kept the category open. And as you guys would see here on the site, on the page, let me just switch back here quickly. All right, as you guys will be seeing here, they are open as it relates to their thing. As a matter of fact, if we can actually take a look at what they're trying to say their value prop is here, right? So they're saying it's easy, it's fast, it's safe, which is very important, and it's secure, all right, which is also a value proposition because of the fact that because they can offer a service even to the buyers where it's safe and secure, that builds a certain level of trust where it makes buyers feel as though, you know what, I can actually come here and do transactions and not have to worry about credit card fraud and tampering and all that kind of stuff, or losing my identity. But we'll touch on that after, right? So customer type number one, sellers. Customer type number two, and I just want to touch on this. So they have to focus on, like, what are they offering to their vendors? They have to look at things like vendor success, like what do they need to do to make their vendors successful? What is that vendor experience like? Like, how are they making sure that their vendors get the best experience coming out of their platform? Because remember, I am providing a service to my vendors. I need sellers to be doing transactions because when they do transactions, I get a commission, right? And of course, that entire process, like how is the process of moving through Sell Your Stuff seamless? Not just for me, but to also the potential customers who are coming to my store through Sell Your Stuff. So let's talk about the other customers that they have now. So the first customer is the seller. The other customer now is the buyer, right? One of the things that Sell Your Stuff could have done, they could have said, you know what, we only want to deal with people who are in electronics, right? So they only offer electronics items like these. But they didn't say that. They said, you know what, we're going to make this thing open because we want to maximize the options where people can just come and sell whatever it is that you have, right? So by them doing that, they've now opened up the space where more people can come. Look at this like a mall. If you're going to Trinity Mall, West Mall, Long Circular Mall, the malls are not niched, right? The malls may have a type of brands that's in the mall. Like, for instance, West Mall likes to have some premium type brands in their stores. Trinity, a little bit of a mix of premium and maybe medium tiers, right? And the other malls they may vary in terms of what they want to have, because of course the price point is going to fit the respective demographic. Look at Sell Your Stuff as a mall, right? Who do they want to attract coming in there? And by having your categories open, it means that you have buyers who wouldn't just say, well, no, all they do is sell electronics items at Sell Your Stuff. No, they actually have a plethora of options. And I'm sure that they may be adding more options so that they can now attract more people coming into those stores. So by them, they're having some virtual foot traffic by folks coming in. That's one of the other value propositions that they offer to their sellers, right? But what will the buyers now be looking for? Well, the buyers would be looking for, especially for those with them using an online platform, one is that customer experience, that entire experience of shopping online through Sell Your Stuff has to be important. Notice I didn't talk about the user interface. People still sometimes use bad user interfaces to get stuff done. I I I use a banking app from a financial service that is, it's archaic, but I use it. It's functional, right? It's not the best user interface, but it is functional, right? So once their platform stays functional, it is going to make sure that the customer is still having some sort of experience through the platform, right? So the ease of use, but that entire customer experience. And when I'm saying that, I mean, so like, how reliable are your vendors? If something goes wrong with a buyer, is it just the buyer and the vendor have to sort it out, or can I sell your stuff in to say, well, guys, can you help me because I'm having a problem with one of your vendors? And if they get involved, how quickly can they help resolve the matter? Because again, have a responsibility. They have a responsibility for two groups of people, right? Of course, we also want to talk about the quality, right, and the integrity of the stuff. So if what happens if someone is maybe swindling and that kind of stuff, right? So again, I'm using this as an example. Excuse me. I'm using this as an example to say that Sell Your Stuff has a responsibility to two different groups. And when I look at it here on the buyer's end, the value prop for them will be one, that customer experience, two, the ease of use to use the platform, so that goes on to user experience, also the vendor's reliability, the vendor quality, and of course the integrity of the entire platform. And I think that's where this would be very appealing, as we looked at it here, right? This here would be very, very appealing to the potential buyers, right? Other things that they will have to really now pay attention to is, how do we generate traffic? Like, how are we going to be generating traffic to help folks come into these stores? All right. Other things that they can actually now also look at doing is, maybe, how do we now support our vendors to get better? Right. Again, we're looking at, yes, it's an online marketplace, but it's an online marketplace, and as much as your vendors grow, we will grow as well as an organization, right? So by them breaking down the value proposition, by them breaking down who is it that they're actually trying to serve, excuse me, and looking at specifically as it relates to the buyers, Sell Your Stuff gets the ability to really now amplify that value prop and offer a unique experience to anyone, right? One of the things I was looking at here, one of the first things, if I had to make any suggestions, and there are a number of suggestions I could make, would be ramping up that whole SEO, because when I looked at Sell Your Stuff, I didn't find the Sell Your Stuff until it was on the third page of Google. So I would also say SEO would be a big thing that they can look at here, because you don't want to be, nobody goes to the third page. Only because I was doing this exercise was why I went to page 3 and realized, oh, wait a minute, okay, so they're showing up, but they're showing up on page 3. Because when I typed in Sell Your Stuff, I saw other things that said Sell Your Stuff, but they were for different countries and also different platforms on Facebook. Excuse me. So that's another area that relates to the SEO. And I would also recommend entrepreneurs that are in a space similar to Sell Your Stuff, really start using a business model canvas, because your business model canvas would help you map out your customer segments, your unique value proposition, the relationships that you want to build, and how are you going to build that relationships. Because if I have to attract more sellers, what do I need to do to attract more sellers? What is that value proposition that I need to be using to attract those sellers into my business, so that I can now, and then on the flip side now, what do I need to do to attract more buyers, more online traffic, so that will be appealing to the sellers, right? And those things factor into like your key resources. So like, what are your other resources and partnerships that you need? And also, what are some of the key activities I need to be doing on a day-to-day basis? How much marketing I need to be doing? How many people do I actually need to reach out to? How automated is my platform, if automated at all? Do I need a sales team? All right, to give you an idea as to what that could look like, I'll maybe just give you, so like, if you look at this is my business model canvas, and it's really sort of dotted with so many different things that's in here, because these are the things and activities that I do to attract the right customers, build relationships with them, and most importantly, generate revenue. So I don't want to go too deep into this, but I just felt that I just wanted to kind of break down the ability to look at one business model or look at one type of business and just share with you all how I look at it. And that's kind of what I do. Like when I work with entrepreneurs, I really help them break down their business models, and they now populate that business model canvas. We write out some of these strategies, we start executing on some of these strategies, and really work towards growing on their business, because it's important that we understand. It's important that we take that bird's eye view of the business model and then say, okay, this is exactly how we need to do, or I didn't pay attention to this, or I need to have certain partners that's going to help me add more value to the customer. So like, who are you adding into your value chain mechanism? All right, so we are on 50 minutes. What, as I said, I didn't want to make it too long, so I think I'm going to stop at 50 minutes. But that is it there, guys. That is a business model breakdown. Let me know, was that a clear enough breakdown as it relates from a SaaS perspective? Do you have any questions as it relates to either the business model canvas or just any questions about everything that I shared there? Bring it forward. Let's talk about it, and I will catch you guys on the next video. All right, peace.